Welcome, ghouls, demons, and fellow weird ones. And we are at book 11 of the Weird Tales. So here's the tale. Here's the tail, light in the tail. And we're going to talk about salvation of purity. Oh, and cue Valus. We're talking about Miss Phoebe, your little girlfriend. So I miss Miss Phoebe. Yeah. So Miss Phoebe is a beautiful cutie pie. She's a mix rescue puppy that we met that lives down the street from us here in Nashville. I ran in, she caught my attention because I thought she was a puppy, but she's full grown, and you just have to see the pictures of Phoebe to understand just her crush. Excuse me, her preciousness. She's so cute. She's a very unique looking dog with how her mixed breeds came together. And so she caught her attention. I was like, oh my God, is that a puppy? And then that's how I met Miss Maisie, her mama. Maisie and I started talking a couple times just about like mainly dog training. She just got Phoebe and my dogs are off leash trained. We just had a few casual conversations. And then one day I see her come out and without Phoebe, but we started talking and I mentioned, like, oh, I made candles, and I started kind of just like briefly, because, I'm always tiptoeing around how witchy I am, especially in person. Like, I just don't want any like uncomfortable situations. It's one thing for me, to be loud online and very obviously, but if you don't know who I am and you see me in person, like, I'm going to tiptoe over it just because my piece is more important than making sure the world knows I'm a fucking witchy woo woo, right? But I mentioned candles and she instantly goes, like, a witch? Like, please say like a witch. And she's so cute. She's a Gemini and just beautiful, radiant, colorful, just wonderful person. You got this goddess energy right away. And I got so excited. I was like, yeah, like I could. And then I told her about my website. We exchanged phone numbers and it became this blossom surprise. It was so crazy. Kind of like how I mentioned with Sina in book 10, there was just this instant connection that manifested. Like we saw each other in like the fall when like she first met Phoebe, and then winter happened. We kind of didn't really see each other. Like our schedules didn't work out, whatever. And then it started to get warm. This was like maybe like March or so, and then we kind of started. It might have been even later. It could have been like April, May, actually. But like we connected and we started talking and building like a really cool connection. And I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be weird about Phoebe, but this dog, I just feel something and I want to write a story about her. And I was going to very awkwardly tell you about it after the fact, but I kind of feel like maybe I should get your permission. Like maybe I should not be like too weird, because I'll do that. I'll just get inspired and I'll do something and I won't realize that it's probably awkward, weird, or uncomfortable for me to be like the stranger that does this like deeply sentimental, emotional thing. And I was like, I don't know how close we are or we're going to be, but like I firmly believed in just my feelings towards Phoebe. Like I felt drawn to Phoebe as like a spirit animal, and like my dogs obviously loved her. Her and Valus have just like cute little, like they're really cute. In their interactions together, we laugh and tease and say the boyfriend girlfriend and stuff like that. And she goes, I would absolutely love that. And so for Maisie's birthday, I got the book together and the story together, and it's a salvation of purity. I don't think I mentioned the name of the book. So book 11 is Salvation of Purity by Sarah Odell Lemois. And it's another rescue dog story, and it kind of goes through Phoebe's story, or like mythological theory of what she went through in the shelter, because Phoebe's such a healing presence, and you know that when you're around her. And when you walk, you see people like, it's very similar to Suna, different but the same, like just a heart chakra, just a soul that incarnated to make people happy, to bring joy, to bring love, to bring light, to bring peace. There is such a, oh, you're so cute, and you just instantly feel better with Suna and with Phoebe. And Phoebe especially, because she's so unique looking, like Suna, she's obviously a German Shepherd, and so people know she's a Shepherd, but she's a unique color. Phoebe is a unique everything. Her size, her facial squishy face, a little squishmallow. She's got these jowls on her. Like she's just, oh, she's wonderful. I'm fucking obsessed with this dog. I love Phoebe, but that's what she brings up in you. She just brings up so much joy, and I kind of felt like maybe Maisie needed like all of it, like some joy, like not that like she's a very bright, happy, like loving, magnetizing person. Maisie is. So I'm not too sure exactly. Like I just think like woman to woman, like all like the sisterhood, right? Like women feel deep, deep emotions, and I feel like there's a whole spectrum of like it's not maybe like a personal weight, but like the weight of the world that I think like a lot of especially spiritually in tune feminines are like really struggling with at this time. And like we need community, we need sisterhood, we need support. And Maisie's a therapist. And so we connected on that. I'm an OTA. She's like like social work, a mental health therapist. So we've worked hand in hand. I've worked with her role in a variety of settings. She worked with my role in a variety of settings. So there was like a foundation of understanding on top of the fact that the air sign game is coming together. And we like the little girl in me sees a little girl in her. And it was just, there's been that from the beginning. And Phoebe kind of represents that. Like Phoebe is definitely manifestation and representation of like the giddy, really gritty, like little girl. Like the little girl in I feel like is embodied in Phoebe. Like that is so strong symbolism for that giddiness and excitement and beauty and art and joy and all of the fairy, go lucky things. So this was one of the most like bright, vibrant, very I want to say prissy, but like I don't know the word that I want, but just the purest form of like love and light I think I've ever done. Like, and I have had moments of this because there's obviously like a lot of love and light in my heart. People all the time are confused about me being more of a shadow worker and on the left hand path because of how much love and light is in my heart. And I think that's why I resonate with it and recognizing Suna and Phoebe within like just being a walking heart chakra. Because I am a walking heart chakra myself, and then working with Hecate, who works with dogs, and then you go into the spirit like energy of a dog and their unconditional love and all the symbolism, right? But I just felt like there's such a purpose. And I think Phoebe's really good at knowing when people need certain moments of love and joy. And I know I needed it desperately. But I also feel like Phoebe knew that her mom and I needed friendship in that way. The way our friendship has blossomed, one, I just can't believe we haven't been friends for an eternity. Like it seems like we've been friends for years. We've only known each other, I think, like a year at this point, like a little over a year. Definitely not close to 2 years yet. Like it's still very fresh, but it feels it's so nurturing. And in alignment. There's a lot of camaraderie and fellowship and beauty, and it's really cool because that's been that to this level has been missing in my life in a lot of ways. It seemed like a lot of my friendships were superficial and there was a lot of fear, especially with women who are different than me. I was like, like I'm like the little goth fairy. Are you gonna accept me? And she instantly was like, oh, like, polar opposites, like being friends. And she's like the rainbow fairy and I'm, the goth fairy, and it works. And there's not weird competition. There's not any shame, which I experienced a lot in my life, for being different. And what I love about that is Phoebe is a incredibly different dog and she's really unique, and Maisie does a really good job at seeing the beauty of the uniqueness. And, that goes into a lot of her chart aspect, but also just the perspective of a Gemini sun, right? And so I felt loved in every way possible. And that goes into the story and all of the bright colors within it, the cherry blossoms and the peaches and just very, very summer. Like obviously, end of May, early June kind of vibes, which like I really connected to Gemini energy in a way where I understood the reason that Gemini was at the season that it was, especially here in like the northern hemisphere. But then that kind of goes into polarity, right? Of the full spectrum of things. Because when I was in Michigan and some other Geminis that I met, like even though we're still in the northern hemisphere, Gemini and like a winter, shadow aspect versus this more intentional, like elevated, enlightened dynamic. But yeah, so anyway, this story it's a love letter to a dog who connected me to someone I spiritually have needed in my life in so many ways. And then also just the friendship that they have. Like I tell Phoebe, I'm like, oh, I call myself Tata to her. That's my aunt name. And, I say Auntie Maisie, like to our dogs. And like we hang out, like Phoebe hangs out in our apartment. My dogs hang out in her apartment. And I love that we're just even though we're down the street from each other, we don't always get to see each other. We're both like working hard bitches, man. We are two baddies working our asses off to make a change, to make a beautiful life for ourselves. And I don't know, we really relate. There's such a air sign understanding of each other, but there's also a deep emotional understanding of each other and so much support. Maisie's one of the few people who consistently subscribe to my workings, my blog. She, as soon as I sent her my website, she subscribed right away, and she's been a devoted subscriber since. Like my subscribers fluctuate, but her and Todd have never given up on me since they subscribed, and that support means the world to me. And I know she doesn't always have time to actually read all of my stories, but I know she supports me in every way that she can. And it's more than good enough. And it just shows you that when people want to, they will. And it's been a lot of lessons for me and what I tolerate and accept, especially as far as friendship. She's definitely elevated my standard of what it means to have someone be a friend of mine, and she sees me and my generous giving nature, and she genuinely respects it, and it's been so cool. Everything between us has been really cool, and so I wanted to honor that in the story with her. And I also, I guess, wanted to show her, not just like the spiritual insights that I'm feeling, but remind her of her power. I feel like dogs, pets, spirit, familiars, are a reflection of like ourselves. And so if I see this in Phoebe, her and Phoebe align together for a reason, it's because they mirror each other. So everything that I'm describing with Phoebe is, if you ask me, is very obviously a description of Maisie. I wanted Maisie to see herself as well. And I feel like sometimes we don't always feel appreciated, especially when you're in a healing role. She's definitely a healer. And so I wanted her to honor her superpowers and her magic and give herself a lot of grace. So the story with Phoebe and her journey as a healing dog in a shelter. That's the summary of the story, but this is everything that went behind creating the story. And the colors I chose remind me of the super cute athletic like running outfit that Maisie was wearing when we exchanged phone numbers and like really initiated like our friendship. Every other time we saw each other, we're both kind of just in like sweats and like more like earthy tones. But this outfit, it was bright yellow and orange and uh just girly in a way that I'm not. And I was like, man, like Pilates, bad babe, man. Like she's such a bad bitch. I just fucking love her. And so that's what the inspiration. And then like there's a few photos she sent me of Phoebe where she's in like these, I don't think they're cherry blossoms, but they're like pink little blossomy flowers that reminded me of cherry blossoms. So I incorporated that, but it's definitely how I see not only how she chooses to express herself, but like her aura and all these magnificent colors of feminine love and healing energy. It's also deeply like Hindi. There's I can't think there's a Lakshmi maybe. There's like two Hindu goddesses that I'm thinking of that I've seen a few art pieces of that really remind me of Maisie. So anyway, salvation of purity. Oh, let me get into that too. I'm kind of forgetting that side. So Phoebe means purity, and so that her name's Phoebe. So that's where the salvation of purity comes in. It's like the rescue and salvation are synonyms in a way. So salvation of purity, the rescue of Phoebe is kind of how the title correlates together. Salvation of Purity by Sarah O'Dowd. I would like to dedicate this tale to amazing pup Phoebe and her mother, a radiant Gemini Maisie. May you both find love, joy, peace, and healing within one another. May you guide each other along your destined paths. Have undying faith that anything and everything will always work out. Believe in yourselves and never deny your creative purpose nor your magic. With love, Sarah. And yeah, I mean, Maisie's so creative. She's made me a few things that are like up on my altar, and I just absolutely love her. And so I hope that she has a beautiful, artistic, creative, loving, magical life. Her and Phoebe. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to share about this book, but this was my 11th book. I released it and gave it to Maisie by her birthday. So yeah, June. Yeah, she's a June birthday, maybe. I'm sorry, Maisie, I'm so sorry if I'm fucking this up. I think I'm getting my Geminis confused. Because I also have another Gemini friend named Stacy. I'm pretty sure she's in May and then Maisie's in June. Or they're both like their birthdays are really close. But that is just my brain second guessing myself. So I'm gonna quit doing that. And I'm gonna end this. So thanks for listening to the 11th book, The Tale Behind the Weird Tale, and stay tuned for more.